Chapter 4 Battle of King Harold and Audbjorn. King Audbjorn went with his forces northwards to Mara. There he joined King Arnvid and Solvi Bandylegs, and altogether they had a large host. King Harold also had come from the north with his forces, and the armies met inside Solskull. There was fought a great battle. With much slaughter in either host of the marrying forces fell the kings Arnvid and Audbjorn. But Solvi escaped, and afterwards became a great sea rover and wrought much scathe on Harold's kingdom, and was nicknamed Bandylegs. On Harold's side fell 2 earls, Asgoat and Asbjorn, and 2 sons of Earl Hakon, Grotgod and Herlog, and many other great men. After this Harold subdued South Mara. Beam and Audbjorn's brother still retained the Firthfolk, being made king. It was now autumn, and King Harold was advised not to go south in autumn tide, so he set Earl Romeveld over North and South Mare and Romsdale, and kept a numerous force about himself. That same autumn the sons of Atli set on Ulva Nuff at his home, and would fain have slain him. They had such a force that Ulva could not withstand them, but fled for his life, going northwards to Mira. He there found Harold and submitted to him, and went north with the king to Throndheim. And he became most friendly with him, and remained with him for a long time thereafter, and was made a skald. In the winter following, Earl Rongveld went the inner way by the Sea southwards to the Firths, having news by spies of the movements of King Vemund. He came by night to Nostdale, where Vemund was at a banquet, and surrounding the house burnt within it the king and 90 men. After that, Call of Berdla came to Earl Rongveld with a long ship fully manned, and they too went north to Mera. Rongveld took the ships that had belonged to Vemund and all the chattels he could get carry of Berdla, then went north to King Harold at Throndheim, and became his man. Next spring King Harold went southwards along the coast with a fleet, and subdued firths and fells, and arranged for men of his own to rule them. Earl Roald, he set over the Firthfolk. King Harold was very careful, when he had gotten new peoples under his power, about barons and rich landowners, and all those whom he suspected of being at all likely to raise rebellion. Every such man he treated in one of 2 ways. He either made him become his liege man or go abroad, or, as a third choice, suffer yet harder conditions, some even losing life or limb. Harold claimed as his own through every district all patrimonies, and all land tilled or untilled, likewise all seas and freshwater lakes. All landowners were to be his tenants, as also all that worked in a forest, salt burners, hunters, and fishers by land and sea. All these owed him duty. But many fled abroad from this tyranny, and much waste land was then colonized far and wide, both eastwards in Jamteland and Helsingland, and also the westlands, the southern isles, Dublin in Ireland, Caithness in Scotland, and Shetland. And in that time Iceland was found. Chapter 5 The King's Message to Kveldulf. King Harold lay with his fleet in the Firths, whence he sent messengers round the land to such as had not come to him, but with whom he thought he had business. The messengers came to Kveldulf and were well received. They set forth their errand, said that the king would have Kveldulf come to him. He has heard, said they, that you are a man of renown and high family. You will get from him terms of great honor, for the king is very keen on this, to have with him such as he hears are men of mark for strength and bravery. Kveldulf answered that he was an old man, not fit for war or to be out in warships. I will now, said he, sit at home and leave serving kings. Upon this the messengers said, then let your son go to the king. He's a tall man and a likely warrior. The king will make you a baron, said they to Grim, if you will serve him. I will be made baron under none, said Grim, while my father lives. He, while he lives, shall be my liege lord. The messengers went away, and when they came to the king, told him all that Kveldulf had said before them. Whereat the king looked sullen, but he spoke little. These men, he said, were proud, or what were they aiming at? Ulverhnuff was standing near, and he bade the king not be wroth. I will go, said he, to Kveldulf, and he will consent to come to you, as soon as he knows that you think it a matter of moment. So Olver went to Kveldulf and told him that the king was wroth, and it would not go well unless one of the two, father or son, came to the king. He said too that he would get them great honor from the king, if they would but pay homage. Further he told them at length, as was true, that the king was liberal to his men both in money and in honors. Kveldulf said, "My foreboding is that I and my son shall get no luck from this king, and I will not go to him. But if Thorolf returns this summer, he will be easily won to this journey, as also to be made the king's man. Say you this to the king, that I will be his friend, and will keep to his friendship all who heed my words. I will also hold the same rule and authority from his hand that I held before from the former king, if he will that it continue so still. And I will see how I and the king agree." Then Olver went back and told the king that Kveldulf would send him his son. And he said Olver would suit better. But he was not then at home. The king let the matter rest. In the summer he went inland to Son, but in autumn made ready to go northwards to Trondheim. Chapter 6. Thorolf resolves to serve the king. Thorolf, Kveldulf's son, and Eyvind Lambie came home from sea roving in the autumn. Thorolf went to his father and son had some talk together. Thorolf asked what had been the errand of the men whom Harold sent thither. Kveldulf said the king had sent them with this message: Kveldulf, or else one of his sons should become his man. "How answeredst thou?" said Thorolf. "I spake what was in my mind, that I would never take service with King Harold, and ye too will both do the same if I may counsel. This, I think, will be the end, that we shall reap ruin from that king." "That," said Thorolf, "is quite contrary to what my mind tells me, for I think I shall get from him much advancement. And on this I am resolved, to seek the king and become his man, and this I have learned for true, that his guard is made up of none but valiant men. To join their company, if they will have me, seems to me most desirable. These men are in far better case than all others in the land, and 'tis told me of the king that he is most generous in money gifts to his men, not slow to give them promotion, and to grant rule to such as he deems meet for it. Whereas I hear this about all that turn their backs upon him, and pay him not homage with friendship, that they all become men of naught, some flee abroad, some are made hirelings. It seems wonderful to me, father, in a man so wise and ambitious as thou art, that thou wouldst not thankfully take the dignity which the king offered thee. But if thou thinkest that thou hast prophetic foresight of this, that we shall get misfortune from this king, and that he will be our enemy, then why didst thou not go to battle against him with that king in whose service thou wert before? Now, methinks it is most unreasonable neither to be his friend nor his enemy." "It went," said Kveldulf, "just as my mind foreboded that they marched not to victory who went northwards to fight with Harold's shockhead Emera, and equally true will this be, that Harold will work much scathe on my kin. But thou, Thorolf, wilt take thine own counsel in thine own business. Nor do I fear, though thou enter into the company of Harold's guards, that thou wilt not be thought capable and equal to the foremost in all proofs of manhood. Only beware of this, keep within bounds, nor rival thy betters. Thou wilt not, I am sure, yield to others overmuch." But when Thorolf made him ready to go, Kveldulf accompanied him down to the ship and embraced him, with wishes for his happy journey and their next merry meeting.